Alright, so let's start off with I Want to Be Adored then by the Stone Roses. So for this one, there's quite a lot going on in the intro, quite spacey, ambient, lots of kind of subtle lead guitar. So I've kind of missed that out, and I'm starting from where the bass really kicks in. And there's 4 bars of the bass here, so you can see there's nothing else playing, just the bass. 4 first bars. And then the first rhythm guitar joins in with some power chords, a little bit of crunch going on here. And the thing to note about these power chords is they're going to be palm muted. So in the tab there, you can see PM with a dotted line. So that's going to mean palm muting. So we're resting our picking hand on the strings, actually touching the strings. So instead of this sound, where the notes are ringing, our hand is down on the strings, so we get a more thuddy, dull sound. And it's important that your hand is on and near the bridge of the guitar. If it's too high up near the strings, when you try and play that, you don't get any noise at all, you just get that clicky sound. So we're going to bring it back, sit on the bridge. And we're playing some power chords here, so let's talk about those shapes. So first finger and third finger are doing the shapes. We're playing a G power chord at the 3rd fret on the lower strings. Then to the A string, 5th fret, is our D. And we're playing quavers here, so the rhythm will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And with the palm muting, and we're playing this all down strums, that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And in bar 6, we're going to go back to our G power chord for 1 and 2 and. But now we're going to play single notes. First finger and third finger are going to do it. And we're on the 5th and the 7th fret, so it's 3 and 4. Just that bar. Bar 6 would be. Okay, bar 5 and 6 together. 3, 4. And then we're going down to in E power chord, open E string, and we're holding 2nd fret on the A string. And again, we're playing these all down strums. So there's 2 bars on that A. So this line is going to repeat 5 times, and there's some other lead guitar stuff kind of happening over the top, but the bass and the guitar are playing this kind of thing together. So it seems a nice way to start off the song. So bar 5 then through bar 8. Let's just do it once instead of the 5 times for the sake of saving time. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the whole line. So remember, it goes 5 times in total. So feel free to practice it that many times just with me or with your recording. Okay, so on to the next part then. So this is where the main, I would call, lead guitar comes in very prominently. A bit dirtier than it was at the start, with a bit of big reverb going on, some chorus kind of stuff going on. You can tell I've got a little bit of kind of crunch on my sound at the moment. Nothing that crazy. I've not really tried to emulate the sound in any way here. Just get in the very rough ballpark and then just concentrate on playing the parts and the notes. So for the lead guitar then, we're going up to our 9th fret and we're going to start on the 9th fret of the D string. And then we're going to go straight underneath that to the G and back to the D again. So, but instead of just moving one finger, how I would do that is actually put my 3rd finger on the D string and have my little finger ready underneath to jump between them. So 3rd finger on the D string, little finger does the G, and back again. Timing wise, we're not starting on beat 1, so it'd be 1 and 2 and then when we get to the 7th fret, my 1st finger is going to take care of all the 7s. The 3rd finger does the 9s again. So just bar 9 with the counting would be 3, 4, 1. Just smoothing that out a little bit. 3, 4, 1. There you go. So the first time I played it, I used one finger to jump between those first 9s, but it sounded a little bit staccato, a little bit robotic. So again, my suggestion using 2 fingers just smooths it out. We'll do it one more time. 3, 4, 1. Into bar 10, 1st finger does the 7 again. 3rd finger does all the 9s. And then we're going to have a slide. So my 1st finger is going to play 7, slide it to 9. So remember, keep the pressure down on the note and push the finger along. And then we're going to move it back and pick 7. So just the end of that bar with a slide would be. And then 3rd finger is going to do the 9th fret on the D string, and this is a long note, it's actually going to ring for 8 beats. So let's put that whole line together, bar 9 through bar 12. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So don't worry if you can't play it quite that fast yet. Just slow it down, make sure your notes and your fingers and your rhythms are all right and sounding good. And then speeding it up is just a matter of slow repetition. Okay, next line then, bar 13. Well, the first two parts are exactly the same. So I'm going to jump to 15, and we're going to have this 5th fret note on the B string. 4 beats that's going to last for, it's a semi-brief. And then in bar 16, the trickiest phrase, we're on our high E string, and I'm going to put both fingers on the string. So my first finger's on fret number 5, third finger's on fret number 7. So both are touching. The reason is, when we're going to pick this first note, the 7th fret, then I'm going to do a pull-off. So remember, a pull-off is just where you're flicking your finger downwards, as if there was a bug on the end of your finger. So pick 7, pull off, so you're flicking the finger off, and that's immediately going to reveal this 5th fret. And then we're just repeating that phrase. You can see PH, PH, pull off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on. Yeah. So it's one pick, but we're getting multiple notes. 1, 2, 3. And then we're doing the same thing on the B string. And now third finger's going to play 7. First finger plays 4. And then we're going to do another little slide. You can see there's a grace note there. The grace note is the 7 that's very small. And it's trying to show us where to start our slide, but we almost don't even hear that note. So it's not. That would be too even. The notes have equal weighting. What we want is, they're kind of crushed into each other. So again, not. That is too slow. That's what we want. So let's do bar number 16 put together really slowly. 3, 4. Okay, let's just put that whole line together then, bar 13 through to 16. Here we go. 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. All right, so that concludes our intro. Then we get into the verse and the vocals start. So I'll see you there. Okay, bar number 17, verse 1 with the first words, don't have to sell my soul. So we're playing some just long notes here. So 7th fret on the G string. Pick it once, but you can see they're tied together. So remember that indicates that it's a 4-beat note and a 4-beat note, but they're joined. So really it's one pick that lasts for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to do the same thing at the 9th fret. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's repeat marks around this line. So we do it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that would be the first part of the verse. So, really simple there. So now I would say the thing to do is to try and join and practice the intro together with verse number 1. And then once you can do that and get those lead parts sounding really good, join me in the chorus. Alright then, so chorus number 1, we're starting off on the 11th fret of the G string. And we're going to have a bend. We're going to pick this note, and then we're going to push it up half higher, so it sounds like fret number 12. And then bring it back down. So you see the arrow is indicating it goes up by half and then come back down. So don't overbend it. It goes too far. So it's not quite as much as you think. Where you can check is play 11, play 12. And if you do find the bending thing really difficult to get, just pick the note. So you could play, or just sounds a little bit smoother and nicer with the bend. So we're going to play that bend. Drop to the 9th fret of the G. Drop to the 7th fret. And then the last two notes I'm going to do with 2 different fingers. 3rd finger on the 9. 1st finger on the 7. And then repeat the 9th fret on the D string. And again, This is bar 23 and 24. That note gets picked once and rings for 8 beats, and then the whole line would repeat. So let's just put that together so we can hear what that sounds like. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and again. 4. So there's our first chorus part where he's actually singing I Want to Be Adored. So that's going to move us back into the break, the lead guitar part. I'll see you there. Alright, so this lead guitar break then is really similar to what happened in the intro. We're back at our 9th fret. I remember for the first 2 9s where we're crossing strings, 3rd and little finger. And then all the 7th frets are going to be taken care of with your 1st finger. So 1st finger and 3rd finger are doing all the work here again. The phrase should look pretty familiar, but we'll play the whole line. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be our break line in between finishing the chorus and then starting the next verse. So again, if you need to, rewind, play that along a few times and then try it with the recording. If you've got it, let's jump on to verse number 2. Alright, so verse number 2 then, where he's saying, I don't need to sell my soul. We're back to our low power chords, palm muting. Same power chords we had earlier, a G, a D, and the E at the open string and the 2nd fret. And we're still playing quavers here, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. And watch out because this line has repeats around the beginning and the end of it, so it's going to get played twice, and we'll do that together now. So let's try this straight in as we've already talked about the rhythm and the power chords for verse 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Round again. There we go. Remember, the important part there for the sound is that palm muting. Our picking hand is resting on the strings to get that dead sound. If you don't do it, it's not that it sounds bad, it's just a bit too wild for this kind of part of the song that's much more subdued. Alright, so that's it for verse 2. On to chorus number 2. Okay, so chorus number 2 is very similar to what we already had in chorus number 1. There's just a few extra picks on each of the notes, a couple of variations, but the idea is the same. Hopefully you'll see and hear that just from watching this. So let's do that. Bar 33 to 35. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the note at the end there is going to hold on, just like before. You can see the ties. It's going to ring for 4 beats. And we've also, and this is bar 35, we've got that little grace note slide again. You can see there's a 9 to 11 slide. But remember, because the 9 is indicated as being a grace note, it's smaller than the 11. It's not even. The notes don't have equal weighting. We're crushing them into each other. So we want much faster. And the bend at the start of the phrase still goes up and down. But if you can't do that, remember the alternative would be to pick 11, pick 12, and back. You get the same idea, it's just not quite as smooth. So that would be bar 33. And then in bar 37 through 34, the idea starts to repeat itself. It's just the end of the line is different. So in bar 39, we still do our slide, 9th fret to the 11th fret. But now we've got to play it at the end. So just 39 and 40, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we put 37 and 40, so this is the whole line, whole second line of chorus 2, we get this. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And if we put both lines together here, so this is bar 33 through bar 40, the whole of chorus 2, as I've written it on the page, would sound like this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, next line. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That is the whole of chorus 2. Lovely little phrases. Okay, so onwards then, I'll see you in the bridge. All right, so the bridge, you can see I put a time code here. It happens around about 3 minutes, 4 seconds in the song. And we're playing some power chords. So we've got D power chord at the 5th fret. Same strings, but now from the 3rd fret is our C power chord. And that's going to get us through this whole bridge. They're the only 2 chords we need, but let's talk about the rhythms. I'm going to use all down strums for this section. And the rhythm's kind of shifting, but you can see, if you look at each rhythm as a 2-bar phrase, so bar 41 and 42 together, and then 43 and 44 together, it's a 2-bar phrase. So if I'm going to play those 41, 42 together, it would sound 3, 4. And then 43 and 44 would be a repeat of that. So put that whole line together, 41 through 44, play it with me. 2, 3, 4. And on to the next line, 45 through 48. We're still doing the same thing. So I'm going to jump over that line and go into the end of this section, which is bar 49 and 50. So now we're on the D power chord. Again, I've just written a reminder there to do down picks, the little N looking symbols underneath the notation. And we're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, and then there's a dead stop. So I'll demonstrate that now. 3, 4. So make sure there's a nice dead stop at the end there. One more time, do it with me. 3, 4. There we go. And that little break at the end on beat 4, the rest on beat 4, is a 1-beat rest, it's a crotchet rest. And that's going to give us a chance, under the cover of silence, to move our hand back down towards the 3rd fret, ready for verse number 3. So I'll see you there. Okay, verse number 3 then. Power chords we've already had. G power chord, D power chord. Similar and hopefully recognisable from the earlier verses. But now the difference in this verse is that when we reach our E chord, it's not the E power chord anymore. We're going to do a nice strum of the open chord. I'm kind of mashing up 2 guitar parts here. There is a guitar playing the power chords, and there's another one playing some slightly bigger ringing chords like this. So I've kind of taken the best of both of those and put them together. So palm muting again on the power chords, so hand resting on the bridge on the strings to get that thuddy sound. We're playing quavers, and then when we get to our E minor, it's going to ring for 8 beats. And because of the repeat marks around the start and the end of the line, the whole line's going to go twice, so we will play it twice. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and again. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to be straight into the breakdown for some more power chords. So let's deal with that now. Straight power chords, G, D, G, D, and back to our E. So even though it's labelled something different, we've actually done these same parts earlier in the song. So we're going to play now bar 55 through to 66. And in bar 66, there's a crescendo marking, 2 lines that are opening up. That means it's kind of gradually getting louder. So we were palm muting in the bars before it, leading up to that, but in bar 66, we're going to gradually let that palm muting off so the chord can get louder. So I'll demonstrate that by playing 65 and 66. So here we go. 3, 4. There we go. So things are gradually getting louder. That is a crescendo. So let's play this whole section then. Let's play bars 55, the start of the breakdown, all the way through 66. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Next line. Final line. And the crescendo. And that would be the end of the breakdown, which is going to put us back into the lead guitar. So you're playing this E power chord, it's building up, and for the next section we're very quickly going to move back to that 9th fret where our lead guitar was playing earlier on from the intro. So we'll deal with that now. Alright, so for our lead guitar then, here at the ending, everything is kind of in the same area, this 9th fret, 7th fret earlier that we've seen a few times now, but the phrases are going to have some variation, and he's just kind of repeating the phrase a lot more than before. So let's deal with bars 67 through 70 first of all. I'll play them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And in bar 69, again, we're going to put our finger at the 9th fret, but this time we're going to lay it flat. So first finger is pressing flat. And that way I can play all those notes, but they're going to ring into each other. Okay. So bars 69 and 70 together, slowly with counting, would be 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Alright, let's just put that whole line together in bar 67 through 70. 3, 4, 1. There we go. So the secret there is really getting that first finger laid flat, so all the notes in bar 69 and 70 ring together. So now we're into bar 71, almost at the ending. And what's going to happen here, there's lots of picking to do. He just doesn't quite finish the phrase. He just kind of keeps looping the middle part of it around. So I'll play it through so you can hear it, and then we'll break it down. So 3, 4, 1. So lots of constant picking there. In bar 74, we've got that little tied note in the middle. So let's just focus in on that because it's really the trickiest bit. The counting wise, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 is the missing note, the tied note, and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Just counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 without counting. And we'll put that line together one more time so you can practice along. Here we go. 3, 4, 1. And then we're into the ending. Alright, so the ending here, at the ending of the song, everything's kind of slowed down a bit. So with the strumming of these chords, you could use down and up strums if you want, but because it's slowed down a bit, you can actually sit quite comfortably and play down strums for all of these last notes. So we're playing G chords and D chords. And bar 75, we would count 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in bar 76, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Sorry, I missed a note there. We'll do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Lovely. Those two bars together. 3, 4. And for the last bar, we're playing an E minor. Strumming through the strings, and I've written it like it's ringing out for 8 beats, but over bar 78, above the notation, there's what looks like a bird's eye. It's called a fermata. And that means a held pause. So because it's the end of the song, this chord is ringing out for quite a while, much more than 8 beats, but because it's the end, no one's really counting. So you can just play the chord, let it ring as far as the track goes, and you're happy with it. So let's put this whole line together. 1, 2, 3, 4. ending. So rewatch, rewind, work on any parts that you need to as much as you can. Practice playing them along with me in this video, and then find the song on YouTube, slow it down, make it 50% speed, 75% speed, and start practicing along some of these parts. And I know there's a lot more lead guitar parts and things in the song, but I've tried to concentrate here on the more straightforward rhythm parts to kind of glue the song all together. As nice as those lead parts are, you could kind of live without a lot of it and just play the bulk of the chords to get through the song. So any questions, just let me know, get in touch. But I hope you enjoy that, and I hope it helps. See you in the next one.